Let's go. Good morning. Welcome to the Peninsula Clean Energy Executive Committee meeting of May 11th, 2026. Roll call to.
Jen needs to be promoted, it looks like, Nelly.
We'll work on that. We can still do roll call. Atherton,
Gotta turn it up.
You have to turn up your volume, please.
oh, Brianna, can you please turn up the volume in the room?
We're set. Thank you.
All right. Roll call. When I call your jurisdiction, if you please state your name. Atherton.
Ready to go, yeah.
Thank you. Belmont.
Tom McKeown.
Brisbane. Burlingame.
Donna Colton.
Hillsborough.
Leslie Ragsdale.
Menlo Park.
Nancy Nash.
Millbrae. Give me 1 second to see if doesn't look like Director Fung has joined us virtually yet. San Bruno.
Marty Medina.
Thank you. San Carlos.
John Davis.
Thank you so much. And we have a quorum.
Fantastic. First item of business. I don't have any.
Oh, I don't think I do either. Here, you can.
Brianna does.
I got
There you
it.
go.
Here we go.
The first item of business is public comment for items that are not on the agenda.
Fantastic. Nobody from the public behind me here. Don't see
No
anybody
public
online.
online. No public online at this time.
Okay, looking for a motion to set the agenda and to approve the consent.
So moved.
That's Ragsdale and DeGolia. Moving on to the chair report. That's me. Let's see, good morning. Great to see everybody here.
Wait, I'm so sorry, Chair. 1 moment. Did we take a vote on the minutes?
Yeah, we did not do that.
Oh.
First and a second.
We haven't.
Sorry, we got the first and the second, but we need to take the vote, which we can do. Let me confirm that Director Fung has not joined us online yet, which I don't see him. So we can at the moment do the quick vote.
I apologize for that. All in favor of approving the consent item agenda?
Yeah.
Aye. Aye. Any no nays? Unanimous vote. All right, we're back on.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Back to the chair report. I don't really have anything for this morning. Go ahead and move on to the CEO report.
Next slide, please. Thank you. Before I get into this, I think it's, we had a quick reminder at Audit and Finance, and I think it bears reminding here. So you all remember that at the beginning of the year, we had this moment in time where we thought we might be able to shift these meetings to Zoom meetings for all of you. And then there was a deeper dive, deeper analysis, and that got pretty much reversed. That said, here's what the deal is, and I do want to thank Director Dugan for asking about this so that we're super clear. If you would like to participate by Zoom at executive committee meetings, you may do that. You just need to provide your address of where you will be and post it 72 hours in advance. So it would just have to be on our posted agenda. If you have a job to go off to, whatever, is fully understandable. That's how you would do it. You also have 2 just cause options per year if you choose not to include your address. So just requires that you have to think in advance a little bit and let us know. So with that, do want to let you know that we are nearly done with what we're calling our JPA Amendment Roadshow. Tonight I will be in Pacifica for, I believe, number 19. Mark, you will be in Colma.
Mark isn't there.
Mark, I can't remember where Mark's gonna be. And then we have our final vote on Wednesday night, and Raphael will be covering that. So with that, we expect pretty much a clean sweep. I do want to thank all of you for your assistance. Actually, no, San Carlos.
Yeah.
Mark will be with you tonight, and then Colma at the end. So that is almost wrapped up. We did have a great ribbon cutting pictured here at the County Office of Education. There was both a rooftop solar and a parking lot solar structure. Thank you, Chair Medina, for attending that. And then this week is the Cal CCA conference, so I think many of you are planning. Can I have just a quick show of hands, who's coming up? 3, okay, great, that's great. We will miss you this year, but I know you have, I think your
Baseball.
team made it to the playoffs, right?
Yes, semifinals on Wednesday.
Yeah,
And council meeting
That's always important.
yeah,
tomorrow
so
night.
anyway, I think there are 8 board members coming this year, which is just terrific, so thank you for that. That is all I have, before we get into really our one and only topic for you today, so this should be a relatively short meeting. I'll turn it over to Nick. Oh, sorry, upcoming meetings. We had originally planned to take July off. We cannot this year because we've got a number of power purchase agreements that need to be approved. So we're gonna take August off instead. So these are the upcoming meetings in June and July. All righty, next slide. All right, now we're ready to turn it over to Nick and Nellie.
Sure. I think Nellie and I are gonna tag team. I know Nellie is not feeling 100%, so I can take the lead, Nellie, but please jump in. Nellie has been point person on a lot of the design and construction work and hopefully can add where I'm missing. But just to provide everyone a quick update on where we are, some of this is old news, but we, as you all are aware, we signed the lease for 400 South El Camino Real. You can see the building there on the right. If my pointer worked up there, I'd show you the boardroom is gonna be, we're at the top floor, or the second to top floor, it's gonna be on that right, that's the north side, so you can picture yourself there in 4 months. So we're really excited. We have been working really hard with the architect that we engaged, as well as building management, finalize the floor plan, which I'll show you in a second, and select all the finishes, the ceiling, the lighting, the wood paneling on the wall, all that kind of stuff. It's been a full-time job for Nellie. Some of it fun, but some of it not so fun. So we'll show you some of the finishes that we've selected. We had a really big day last week. We're excited. This is new news from even the staff report, but we submitted the permits on May 8th. I think that's Thursday. So that was something we were really working towards that date. We're told that it's a minimum 20-day business day review process, and then 2 weeks, I think, of questions and then time that we have to respond. That should give us, knock on wood, more than enough time to get the permit in hand before construction, which would begin mid-July. As a reminder, there is a tenant in there right now. Their lease expires on July 15th. So unfortunately, we can't, even if we were ready, we can't do anything until then. But the day they move out, or maybe it's not the day, soon after they move out and clean out the space, we want to have a permit in hand. We want to have ordered all the long lead time items, which we are doing right now, and begin construction, because we only have about 2.5 months before we're planning to move in, which would be October 1st. There's a chance that gets delayed because it is a tight construction period. And so we've tried to be prudent and we've extended the lease here. This lease expired on September 30th. And so we've extended it by one month, which we thought was important. It also gives us time for moving, because the logistics would have been almost impossible to move out on one day and move in the next day without a place to put stuff. And so we've extended the lease. We may extend it another month, but we'll see how things go at the new building. So exciting process. Next page, just to show you floor plan, which we're probably more excited than you guys. But this is what it's going to look like. A lot of these walls already exist. We've made some changes where we think we needed to. We tried to minimize construction costs. We've tried color coordinators. Just to get you level set, the boardroom would be on the top. That is a break room. I should get up here and stand up, so I've been sitting down for a while. Tell me, this is probably more information you guys we care about. This is our new home away from home. So this is the boardroom. It's a lot bigger. It doesn't have big columns in the way. So we're gonna have like the podium will probably be here. We'll have a big screen here, a screen here, seating around the edge, big boardroom right there. This is gonna be a movable wall. So when we have all staff meetings, we don't have to rent other spaces. When we have community feedback forums that we want to host, we can make this one big room. And this is where, but usually it'll be closed, and this will be our break room, so where we will have lunches and coffee and that kind of stuff. These are our conference rooms. These 4 plus these, we have 5 conference rooms, so that's currently, except right now we only have 2 conference rooms, so a big increase. We are gonna have some huddle rooms, which are basically conference rooms, but not the audiovisual equipment, so you just 3 people want to go in a room and huddle. So that's like there and there. We've got some offices along the edges. We've got 8 of them. Right now we have 7, so 1 more than we currently have. This is all workspace. So we are right now, you'll hear me talk about, we're working with a furniture consultant to help us design what this all looks like. You know, cubes, touchdown desks, pods. We've done feedback with our staff, you know, what will entice you to come into work? How do you want to work? We've got soft space like couches. Some people want to sit on a couch and pull out their laptops, or have a little bit of everything for all. We have to expand the men's and women's bathroom. We are going to have an all gender bathroom. So that's new right here. And then a wellness room, importantly. And that's it. Anything, and here's the list. Anything I missed, Nellie, on the floor plan, or any questions? Please.
How does the size of the conference room compare to this room,
The boardroom,
the boardroom?
it is bigger. It's bigger.
So it's the
Not
boardroom is
like
bigger
double
and
the
then you have
size,
the,
but it's big.
and then you have the removable walls, so you got.
Yes, so when
That's
we,
great.
because when all
Yeah.
staff gets together, you know, we're pushing with. Sometimes we have part-time or whatever, 70 people, let's say, 65. And then for our community feedback forums, seems to be running about the same, so when you put that wall down.
Wall down.
And importantly, we were gonna move the wall originally, but part of our what we're calling value engineering to get the cost down, we're keeping it where it is. And, you know, probably have it
There's steel
open.
plates already there,
most of the
so it
time,
just costs
yeah.
more. But then when this is closed, when this is just a professional boardroom, it'll be bigger than this room.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
It's wider. so
Wider.
Mainly because we don't have this situation.
The table's gonna hold,
I'm sorry, by how much is it, like halfway into that next room there, or?
Yeah, like, sorry, I don't know the square.
Yeah,
footage.
I don't have the dimensions on hand for the exact size of the room. I can tell you between the boardroom and the break room combined, the capacity is 100 people. So
But
plenty
the
of room.
boardroom, we had told them we wanted, I think, 26 around a table. And then this is all gonna be seating around the edge, so this, we always feel really tight here. And so it's gonna be bigger, but I don't know the square
Yeah.
footage.
The other thing we can do, and this got brought up before, so we'll just dispatch with it. That wall will likely be open, unless we have a closed session, but the walls easily go back and forth. So the wall would be open, and then you might also have theater seating, sort of like we do here, for members of the public. I know there are some concern about perimeter seating. Some of that will stay, but it's not on all sides, so there will be a
Okay.
little bit of both. Yeah,
Um,
It's gonna be nice.
The other thing, just that, like the color coordinates, I think it's gonna be great, there's gonna be this is sort of, when we have board meetings, we have members of the public, and we ideally don't want them walking around our offices. So this sort of will be walls where this is sort of public area, and the conference rooms will be on the public side. So we think that's a great design element.
We're also gonna do a kind of an entry area where we are gonna have electric appliances on display as part of our welcome.
And we have
Or welcome
we have a
lobby.
page on that, so hold that thought.
Oh, okay, hold that thought,
So
sorry.
anyway, so this is the floor plan. Any other questions? Sorry. This is the only item, so maybe I'm gonna go slow as long as you want. So I want to show you what some of the finishes. This is Nelly where I probably need your help. I've sort of extricated myself from these discussions. We all have strengths and weaknesses. This is not my strength. Design, so Nelly and Sean and others, but this is sort of the floor plan, the floor plan, the sort of design elements, the look of all the various rooms. Nelly, anything you'd add here?
No, just that we were able to incorporate some of the accent wall paint colors with our new brand, which is exciting. A lot of these choices kind of already fell in line with we chose intentionally neutral palettes so that they could blend with whatever our brand ended up being. So a lot of the check marks here are the building standard finishes. And so just trying to be price conscious in our decisions. And yeah, I think it will look very nice. I'm happy to go into further detail. I've got so many maps and so many drawings. If anybody wants to know where we're using what, I have learned to read all of that. So happy to dive in with anybody who wants it.
Design is never good.
That's okay.
This is just what the ceiling is gonna look like. The other thing exciting is we're building up this, right now it has kind of this sort of look right now, but it's even lower. We are taking that all away and gonna show the exposed ceiling, so kind of that industrial-ish look. There's gonna be panels, so for sound barriers, and I think it's gonna look great. It's gonna look something like this, sort of wind, waves, ocean. Here, this is the boardroom, it's gonna be more left straight. This is lighting, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. This is meant to be like wind, this is lighting. It's kind of been fun, hasn't been as involved, so Nelly, please jump in if there's anything you want to touch upon here. This is the lobby.
What's
Sorry.
the plate height? Like how much room are you playing with now?
So the current drop ceiling is at about 8 feet, if I'm not mistaken, and it should open up to be just over 11 feet.
Okay.
Much better.
That will feel much nicer, yeah.
It'll be lower in the offices, so this is just in the open areas.
Yeah, we're only changing the ceiling in the core and the offices. It was part of the cost savings as well to not change the ceiling everywhere. So in the offices, they'll remain at 8 feet.
This is the lobby you mentioned. This is when you walk in, so this is kind of a blow up of where it is. We don't know if this is gonna be the couch, but there'll be some sort of welcome lounge area. This is the design element, our architect, something like this, a wooden thing, but I mean, we just slap the picture, but it'll look better than that, like our new logo on there, so you walk in. Instead of looking at like the exit area, you'll look at this nice sort of logo. This will be the frosted glass of these conference rooms, something like that. The exciting thing we've added, and it's still a little work in progress, is we're gonna have a display area for people to come in and see what does a hot water heater look like. Heat pump water, so like things like that. We're still working on it, but that's the idea. We are hoping to connect them so they actually could be in use, and that's been a little more difficult engineering wise, but it's still hope.
I love the idea of the show and tell and
Yeah.
such, even better if we can activate it.
That's what I mean.
When I was visualizing this, I was thinking it'd be really cool if we could do any live data, like in one of my council meetings, I was actually pulling up the clock of the solar on top of our youth center and was quoting the stats. Like, maybe there's a board of tons CO2 saved and, solar generation right now and battery storage and watch it go up and down with the day, or something like, I think that'd be
We
good
do plan to
stuff.
have, I think, screens around the office, right? Kind of like what
We
Ava,
don't know what to be on, but something like that, or some
Yeah.
marketing
Different.
material.
yeah, or it's combined with staff announcements.
Yeah.
So having those around Ava does that. And we thought that was a good borrow from them as well.
Nice.
Yeah, good idea. Thank you.
So this is exciting, so hopefully we're still.
Can I ask, so like, when you look at things, it's like PCE, MCE, what are our letters gonna be, WLE? Or
No.
WLE?
Just Westlight. We think we're trying to move away from an acronym.
Okay, so
Um,
I'm just curious when I saw that, I was kind of like curious.
I mean,
about
it
that.
is the power of we,
Mhm.
which is sort of our internal
Yeah,
brand.
yeah, culture.
But we think customers will likely just go to Westlight.
Okay,
Yeah, and Donna, that's specifically why the words aren't separate,
got
is
it.
to avoid that.
WLE,
Yeah.
right,
Thank you, John. That's right.
yeah,
Got
yeah,
a
no,
couple
I,
of marketing.
no,
folks.
that's really helpful, appreciate that.
Sorry, Anders.
Oh, hey, guys. So did we get some TI budget from the landlord on this?
You're about to hear about it.
Yes, we did.
I guess I should be patient.
Good transition on some of the numbers. We want to start with the design stuff, the pretty stuff, before we got into the minutia of dollars.
There's not going to be a white sign. We're not doing
Way to
it.
set it up for us.
Yeah, thanks, Anders.
Director Fund, here we go.
Okay, so, first of all, We negotiated 6 months. These are some of the efforts we did to really keep the costs as manageable as possible. We negotiated 6 months of free rent the first 6 months, so that's included in our budget, which we just shared with the finance committee. And that largely offsets the incremental construction costs, Anders, above and beyond what the landlord is funding, which I do have a page on that in a second. We've tried to keep the existing infrastructure as much as possible. So that floor plan I showed you, there are some walls that we had to move to make the boardroom. They didn't have a boardroom the size we wanted, but most of the offices and conferences are the same. So we've tried to minimize the need to demolition as well as rebuilding. We've, as Nellie mentioned, we've selected building standard finishes and design features wherever possible. We've prioritized sort of the must-do upgrades, electrical. This is an older building. The floor has been redone maybe 10 years ago, but there is some needed upgrade, some ADA standard requirements. We spent a lot of time value engineering. I have a page on this, but to cut to the chase, the total construction costs, which includes what the landlord will pay, is about going to be $1.4 million. That was initially about 1.8. And so the reason it's taken a lot of time is we've spent the last 2 or 3 months
Crossing
value
stuff.
engineering, crossing, wish list things off the list, understanding where we can cut costs. And we brought it down to $1.4 million, which is still a lot. And the landlord is funding 900,000 of that. So the net cost for us is 500,000, again, largely offset by the 6 months of free rent. And we're also exploring, I'll talk about furniture in a second, but we're going to try and reuse as much of the furniture as we can. And so all the office furniture, I think we are going to have 8 offices. We have 7 here. We're largely going to take the 7 office furniture and put those in there, and then we'll have to buy furniture for one new office. These
We're
might
gonna
be
take
coming.
what we can.
I may push back on that, but
You don't like these?
well, I want the boardroom to look professional. We're spending a lot of it. We'll see, but we're going to try and reuse as much of the office as we can. Minimize landfill, obviously, buy secondhand
You don't
furniture.
go to landfill.
There's a whole,
There's secondary
Yeah,
market. We'll
yeah.
get to that.
Reuse.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do that.
So 10 improvements, Anders. So this is a summary of that. This whole process, I guess this is industry standard, Anders, you come from this side of the business, but it's being managed by the building management. So they've largely engaged the contractor, excuse me. Oh, sorry. They've largely engaged the contractor. This is part of the lease agreement. So they're going to be the ones who are paying the bills to the contractor. And then we are going to, if it goes above $900,000, which it will, that is where we will pay in. We negotiated the $85 per square foot. It started around 75. We got as much as we thought we could. So that equates to about $900,000. As I mentioned, the total cost of all this, we think is going to come out at about 1.4 million. So that means we are on the hook for the delta, which is about $500,000. As I mentioned before, it was a lot more when we started this process. DA Pope is the firm that's been hired for the construction. It's a well-known contractor. I'm hoping some of you have heard in the area. They've done a lot of work in the building, which we think is going to be really helpful. They were the preferred contractor for the building management. And we also did a RFP process. They also happen to be the low-cost bidder, partly probably because they know the building well and were able to find ways to reduce costs. All of these costs will be included in the budget, which will come to the full board, the executive committee in June, and then the full board in June. So that will be the $500,000 of incremental cost.
What's the 6-month free rent valued at?
About $400,000. So largely offsets the 500.
Nick,
So is it true that we're getting 900,000 plus the 6-month free rent?
Correct. Good look at it, yeah. We're not, yeah, exactly.
Good job.
John?
Nick, I've done a couple of these and one little fun value engineering note. You actually save money doing this. Whiteboards, I don't know if you guys use whiteboards as much as the average tech company. But most conference rooms, you kind of want one and they're kind of a mess, right? They show up later, they end up looking like that and they tear up the walls. Last thing, couple I've been involved in, you can paint one wall in every office and conference room with whiteboard paint and just put a little tray on the side of the wall and like you're done. You'll never have to think about whiteboards again. And people love them because it's like they can put little notes way up in the corner or something. And anyway, and it's cheaper than buying all those things.
Whiteboard paint, Nelly.
You got that?
Yes, we actually have that currently in our office in the conference room. It's whiteboard paint in there. So yes, that is on my list, but I think we'll kind of have to lay that out a bit with furniture, which walls are TVs going on, and that piece.
A lot of details.
Anything else?
Do we get any building signage? Like, a
We
lot of times
can,
if you're a
outside.
major tenant in a building, you'll
We
get.
do have an option for that.
Okay.
It's about 7,000 a month, so that is TBD at this time.
Yeah, so we negotiated as part of the lease, the ability to put our sign, right now it's the management company, remember the picture?
Get that thrown in.
That Rommel on the top, that could be Westlight. Comes with a cost, and so we are doing our best to tighten budgets, we need to discuss it, but that could be a great marketing opportunity. It's not free.
Yeah, it's a monthly cost.
Yeah, I mean, you could annualize it, but yeah, it's I think it's $6,000 a month. So we've done comparison, I mean, I don't have all the details, wasn't meant to cover it now, but the firm we've worked with, it's cost competitive to a billboard. And obviously this local would be in our community, so it makes financial sense, but we just need to understand if we can afford it.
If you put it up and then want to take it down,
Yeah, you
you
can
can
take
do
it.
that. So
Yeah.
we could put it up and then if we needed to restrict budget, we could take it down, but that seems like a bad way to go, but.
Yeah, that's,
Anyway, you
so
can
that,
figure it out.
what we've said here is that is TBD.
Yeah,
Because we need to get there first. The other thing is, we're a local agency, so this will be another discussion around sort of, there are other implications that you have by putting something like that up on a building. It looks very corporate, all the other things that we
Right.
also have to balance the, sort of local feel of it all. So TBD, but not right.
Good choice.
Maybe you're not there yet, but what are you guys thinking about for artwork in here? Kind of
Donna's
wall-
gonna
there
paint.
Yeah. From home, but
Yeah,
not there yet. And as you notice, like here, there isn't really.
Yeah.
So at our sister agencies, like Sonoma, they have local artists. And they change it out, I think, every 6 months or so. They have different art shows of local artists. So we could do something like that.
things like that might be fun in the lobby. I'm personally a big fan of utilitarian and mission-driven stuff in an office. So like, I love like schematics, like, I think many have a hard time visualizing just the scale of what we do as an organization.
Yeah.
And like, we're filling up square miles of solar panels and now we're buying fields of batteries.
Yeah,
It's
so
just
having big photographs, maybe
Yeah.
of Billy Wright
Yeah.
Solar, it's that your,
And even a little information plaque, like,
Mhm.
what it is, what's the impact, $120 million contract. I mean, just the scale of this stuff, people don't, I think, grasp when they're, go up there,
Good point. All right, thank you.
I like that too, like, geothermal, like what does that look like? Just, good pictures and then for us locally, something from Los Banos would be nice.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
And photographs tend to be cheaper than original art.
Yeah.
But we could do a little combination of both. That's sort of next phase.
Yeah.
Nelly, can I ask you to lead the next 2 pages since you've been point person on the AV and the furniture vendors?
Definitely. So we've been doing a competitive process for an AV contractor who will handle our audiovisual in our boardroom, our 5 conference rooms, networking, so the Wi-Fi access and direct plug-in internet, as well as security systems fobs, so that not everybody can just walk into any part of the office, and security cameras and other components like that. And where practical, we will definitely try to reuse AV equipment that we already have. And we've received now our 3 bids or our 3 proposals. And the estimated cost looks like it'll be around $225,000. We're still reviewing those bids, still, trying to make sure that they're apples to apples. As you can imagine, it's can be difficult with different types of equipment and, did somebody bid a good, better, best? And so just trying to understand those bids. They only came in on Friday, so that it's all very fresh. And yeah, so with our estimated cost being likely under the CEO signing authority, we likely will not need to return to the board for approval for this particular contract, unless, sorry, I'm reading this incorrectly. If the project costs exceed 250,000, then we will return to the board with an agreement in an amount not to exceed 400,000, but it's looking likely that it will not go over the 250 threshold.
I think when we originally put this on the agenda, we thought we had originally gotten some proposals, higher amount. We've again been dialing them back. They throw out all these bells and whistles. Based on the round on Friday, we're like, oh wow, we may not need board approval. And so that's why this is a little bit in progress. Things could get higher. You never know as we go through the process. Oh, we need that. We want that.
And Nellie, we may want to also just make sure we have a little bit of contingency in that, because once you get there, there's likely to be.
Yeah, and I talked to Jen about that.
additional
Like, what if we sign a contract and come October, it's a little more, we would then go back to the board potentially and do it. So there's options. So this is a little bit, sorry, it's in flux.
Nellie, I saw in the packet that we requested quotes from 3 furniture dealers with experience supporting CCAs. And do we have unique needs that the average office doesn't have?
No, I don't believe so. So we just we talked to our sister agencies who had recently moved offices, or one who's still in the process, and we talked to them, who did you source your furniture with? And so we got a recommendation from Sonoma Clean Power, one from Ava, and one from Silicon Valley Clean Energy. So just that they are other CCAs in that, they're JPA type agencies who have gone through the process, and this is who they selected. So we thought it was a good starting place to pick from similar company.
Yeah, I mean, of course, just my reaction to that is, maybe get one quote where you don't mention that, because you're probably realizing furniture guys are real wheeler dealers, and if you mention a special need, you've probably, bumped it 10-20% in my experience, but.
I think there's no special need other than, I think that's just where she sourced them from.
It's just a reference. We didn't know who to call.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And something, I don't know if you want to advance, Nick, to the furniture slides. So competitive process. And so those proposals came in on Friday as well. And so those are still being evaluated. But something of note is the Omnia access. So the Omnia contract is pre-negotiated rates for government agencies with a bunch of furniture companies, many. I was diving into it, and it is extensive. And so the Omnia, as long as the dealer has access and is able to use the Omnia contracts, then we would get pre-negotiated rates. And so it's challenging to kind of look through these proposals, because it's not so much on the furniture as much as, there's pre-negotiated rates with Omnia. So the furniture dealers, they have a set amount there. But we're looking more for what services they offer, their project support, the fees that they cost or that they charge for that, their lead times, their other fees for furniture delivery and storage and setup. And there's a lot of other components that go into the furniture piece. The furniture piece itself, we could pick $30 chairs, or we could pick, $800 chairs. There is a wide range in the actual furniture selection. And part of our cost savings, of course, we talked about reusing furniture that we have here when it makes sense, purchasing things secondhand when it makes sense, and taking advantage of the Omnia contracts, which I have seen 40 to 60% in reductions of like retail pricing on some of this furniture. So there's so many vendors, so I didn't dive into all of it, but I've seen some very extensive markdowns that were pre-negotiated for government rates. And so I think that is like some of the larger government agencies in the state who negotiated contracts, and these are kind of like piggybacking off of that, is my understanding of what Omnia is. Hopefully that helps answer the question a bit.
So,
You have Anders, hand up.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Marty. So on the AV stuff, I heard you guys saying that you will reuse most of the equipments. So right now in the boardroom, there is a TV, in the back where Natalie used to sit, and then there's also a projector and a screen, where the chair, is behind the chair, right? And so, I'm under the assumption in the new boardroom, we also have some sort of a U, dais setup. So is there also some similar setup in terms of the visual where it's on both ends of the boardroom?
Yeah, so we are still envisioning actually a more of like an O shape, or like a long rectangle shape for the boardroom. I don't think I have the layout of the furniture in here, unfortunately. But in the boardroom, on the right side of the wall, like before the green turns into the purple, will be the largest screen, and that's where we'll be putting a large television display. The AV contractors that we spoke to said that televisions provide a better picture, which, I mean, those sitting in the room, take a look. Which screen is sharper? It's definitely the TV. And the projector is, in order to get a crisp image, and I know that we've had board meetings where we've had slides and we put them up, and on the projector you can't even see what's going on over there. So in order to get a projector that actually can reflect our PowerPoints and presentations accurately, they're very costly. So we will not be reusing the projector, nor will we going down a projector route. We'll be doing 2 televisions, and the other one will be on the southern wall. So we'll have 2 screens, potentially 3.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Nick?
We may put a third screen, I think, on this,
on the north side.
On the window side, anyway.
Yeah.
We're still TBD.
It won't be exactly as our current boardroom, because the wall, opposite the main screen is now a glass operable wall, removable wall. So you can't really put a screen up there. We could do a TV on a rolling cart, but we figure that seems more of a hassle than putting a TV stationary on the wall.
Any other questions on the AV with furniture? Oh, do you want, what we're asking for approval, I guess any other questions here? I'll get to. This is a timeline. It's actually, we reused the exact same timeline from the last meeting, but just to show you where we are, I feel like we're on one of those shoots and ladders games or something like that.
Don't get sent back to the beginning.
Last time we were here, I think we met with you, so we were moving slowly, but obviously we signed the lease. We told you all the work we've been doing we signed the lease here, January to May. We've been working on the floor plan, obtaining permits, so we're almost at the end of the game. And we're expecting to hopefully move in October, November.
We will have an office warming event as part of a combined new office, new brand, and 10-year celebration. I believe that is set for December 1st. Is that right, Nellie? I think it is
Yes,
December 1st.
That's correct.
Yeah. So please, we'll send all these dates out, everybody. But that's what we're aiming toward.
Also sorry to go back on Anders, I think your question, and Nellie, correct me if I'm wrong, we are going to be reusing some of these TVs, which is I think one of your questions. Some are old and there was a best practice of over however many years, but I think the one we're looking at now we're reusing, is that correct, Nellie?
Yes, the one that we're looking at now was only purchased in the last couple of years when we brought the owls in, when we went hybrid. So was that 2023 maybe? So that TV is rather new still. The other TVs were put in when we moved into this office, and so those have kind of hit their natural expiration date, where we were advised probably not to reuse those, that they wouldn't make it, and that we'd end up having to replace them soon. So we'll see. That's still could be questioned. I'm not aware of the TVs having been replaced since that time, but we'll kind of learn more as we go along. But definitely equipment like the cameras that we have. We will not be bringing the owls with us.
These owl
Sorry to
things.
say. The owls will have to stay behind. They
Good.
are notoriously unreliable, and
It's not.
they are dizzying to watch actually from home. So the owls, they've served us well, but their time is up.
Keep staring at me.
Let the owls fly.
All right, we have another question from Director Ragsdale.
Not so much a question,
Or
but
comment.
just a vote for that third TV. Just because if you think about, it's always kind of awkward where to look, right?
Right,
So to have one more option, for instance, if we had that, then we had one there, then someone in that seat has to look pretty far and can't see that one. So anyway, I think that would be worth the investment of third TV.
I'm sure you guys are thinking about it, but this whole like, you're back to the public is
Really
best to
uncomfortable.
avoid it, yeah,
right to the speaker.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any other
Open.
questions?
So
Sorry.
sorry. If anybody has suggestions for boards of this size and how else they lay out, I am all ears.
Director McHugh?
Yeah, what is the term of the lease and what rights do we have to sublease? It's unlikely that we would ever need that, but I've dealt with some situations where people, took a long-term lease, went into a space with the expectation they would be there forever. Something changed, something came out of the blue, and they either needed to move to a different location, so they needed to sublease the space, or the company, the organization changed, they needed to sublease a portion of the space. And in some situations, it's like, well, no, you can't, because it's already a sublease and you can't sublease a sublease. So is it a 5-year lease with a 5-year option? And are there any restrictions on subleasing?
It's a 7-year lease with options to extend,
Okay.
and we have the ability to sublease. Has to be approved by the landlord. Little fact, the current tenant there now is a sublease, lessee. So the building does allow it. And just another little fact is we are actually subleasing our space over there. So it's a good example of we've expanded and then we ended up not needing it. And so we are recouping 80% of our costs. So we do have the ability to sublease. There's a ton of limitations, if we sublease for more than the rent, we have to share some of that.
Yeah,
So it's something
split it with
standard.
the
Yeah,
land, split it with
exactly.
the
But
land.
we have totally the option to sublease.
That's a great question. I hadn't thought of that. I'm glad you were thinking of it.
Any other questions?
How big is the space square foot wise?
10,500.
10,500. And we pay about what, 66,000 a month?
Yeah, $65,000 a month. It's $6.50. Yeah. $6.50.
Our cost per square foot is actually what, 3 cents or something cheaper than where we are today. The rent increase is the size increase. So that's the differential there.
So it's about $6 a foot, right? Something like that.
$6.50 a foot.
So my only
Yeah.
comment, I think
Go
it's
ahead.
great. I think it's a really good plan. The folding movable partition, I've installed those things dozens of times. The vast majority of them moved one time and never moved again. Because they are a pain in the neck to move. The actual process of moving them takes quite a bit of work. And so if we really expect to use it and move it, it's great. More than half of the people that I put them in for said, I wish we'd never done that. I wish we had just left it out. So
Track is.
it's fine to go ahead and put it in, but it actually takes a crew of people to move those
The
things.
reason that you need it is for closed session.
Yeah.
So, and I believe the track is already, it's in the existing location, right?
I think the infrastructure, the steel beams are there,
there.
but it's, no, I see Nellie has her hands up, because this actually has a movable wall, which we never moved because of just that reason. I am told, Nellie, that this is gonna be a lot, I mean, who knows, a lot easier to move. I'm guessing technology's gotten a lot better. I knock on wood, hopefully
Press the
it's easier. Nellie, we've looked into this, and it's not cheap. We think it's important, but we
Yeah.
want something that works, so
Yeah, that-
we're not skimping there. Nellie, any?
We did consider taking it out altogether. But as Sean said, we do need it. We need a space large enough for closed sessions, which we don't have in any of the other conference rooms. So we need it. And it should be a smoother track. Now, we used to, original board members back before we went hybrid, we used to use that wall, and one of our staff jokes that the reason she was hired was to move the wall. It did take two people to do it.
She's gone a
and
long way since then.
She has.
Oh, I know.
And this wall was tricky because it goes around a corner, but it used to be closed. The executive committee used to be held within the smaller conference room, to my understanding. The reason we don't do it any longer is because of those owls in the middle of the room, and they're just sensitive technology that we don't want to mess with it and have the systems go down. And so that's why we don't operate the wall anymore. But the new wall should be fairly smooth, straight track. It'll have a pass-through door in it, so that when the wall is shut, there's still, two exits. I think that was required by the code. So we're hoping that it is not a pain in the rear end to use. Everything that we've heard says it's not. So as the person who's now moving the wall, and Brianna, thank you for volunteering. We hope it won't be too terrible.
Director Nash?
Sounds good.
Just about the movable wall, I assume that is taking into account the visibility and also soundproofness for the closed sessions.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I think we went around the room. Last opportunity, anybody? Let's look for public comment. Nothing behind us, nothing online.
Let me just give a second. If there's any public comment that is online, if you'll please raise your hand in the Zoom app. We do have a member of the public online.
Yes.
It looks like no comment.
Always.
I have a question, Jen. This is probably for you now, just reading this, because we have new information from even last week. So this is an action item. Oh, there you go. If the project cost,
Yeah, so we only
recommendation
go-
2 should probably read very similar to recommendation 1, because we have new information that indeed the furniture might not go past 250. So probably, if you want to offer an amendment, that's what I would do, so that we're
We-
covered. Yeah,
Everybody follow?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to make the motion? Since
You're,
I think I followed it.
open to take a,
I will move
Recommendation.
that, we recommend to the board to authorize the CEO to execute agreements with the AV contractor if it's within her signing authority. And also that we recommend to the board that they authorize the CEO to similarly sign a contract with a furniture dealer if it's within her signing authority.
But no,
But I think the recommendation is to.
Oh, that's right, the opposite.
If it's
Yeah,
above,
right.
yeah.
Yes, you're right. Okay, so again, recommend to the board to authorize the CEO to execute the AV contractor agreement. If it's going to exceed her signing authority. Otherwise, she can sign it without us. And recommend to the board to authorize the CEO to sign the furniture contract if it exceeds her signing authority.
and both not to exceed 400,000.
in total,
Both not to exceed 400,000 for each.
each, okay,
Each.
all right, we got
Yeah,
a,
just for some background, so knock on wood, hopefully the AV is below 250, and this is belts and suspenders. Furniture, we're pretty confident based on preliminary proposals, it's gonna be more than 250. It's been a little hard because as Nelly said, these proposals, they're like, depends what you want. And we only got proposals for the office space, not the boardroom at this point in the break room. And so that's why it's a little gray area. So just to give some context.
But I want to be clear that if it comes back over 250,000, then we absolutely will take it to the board.
Yeah.
We will take it to the board. So what we're asking your recommendation, just really, this is also just for your information.
Yeah.
The executive committee is helping manage this process rather than 23 people, so. Anything that
It's
goes
below.
the 400,000 not to exceed, yes. Sorry, it's a little confusing the way it's written.
But if there's an opportunity to sign it between now and the board meeting and it's within your signing authority, then that's.
Well, you could do it anyway.
Yeah,
At least,
and
you
do
could
that.
at least sign up to $400,000 of the work, bifurcate the,
It has to be after the board.
and then bring the, if you're in a crunch.
Yeah, we won't be,
We won't be signing
we'll be
in between
fine.
now and the board
We're
meeting.
gonna play by the
Yeah.
rules.
So looking for a second?
Second.
Second for Kuhn. All in favor?
I think we have to,
Oh,
Aye.
public
Um,
comment.
Oops.
Sorry.
Yep, we can't all in favor it today.
You're right, you're right, you're
Uh,
right. Caffeine is, you know,
so-
kick it in there.
Second by McCune.
Sure.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. Atherton,
Yes.
Oh, we have to do roll.
sorry, was that a yes, Director DeGolia?
Said yes.
Oh, sorry, thank you, I didn't hear you. Belmont,
Aye.
New Brisbane, Burlingame,
yes.
Hillsborough,
Yes.
Menlo Park,
Yes.
Millbrae,
Aye.
San Bruno,
Yes,
San Carlos.
Yes.
Thank you, and the motion passes.
alrighty. Fantastic. That's the last item, the only item on our agenda today. So, thank you very much, everyone.
Oh, is there any committee member reports?
Oh, committee
Committee
member
member
reports. Anybody?
The only thing I have is we're hosting Council City,
Oh, yeah.
and if you're around, come on by. It's gonna be sort of a, I don't wanna say buffet, because I hate the word buffet, but like open eating, grazing at Mykonos, which is this amazing Greek restaurant. And then walk across the town square, check out the new town square, a little background on that. And music on the town square by one of our former council members, Stephanie Lee. Who was
Sorry to
the
hear
interim
this.
there for a little bit. She and her jazz band are gonna be doing some music for us. Weird, so if anyone's around wants to come, I think I think we've got 50, but we have a little bit more room than didn't sign up anymore.
I had a quick question, because I looked down when the slide was up for the August meeting. Is exec also canceled for
Yes,
August?
all public
Okay.
meetings in August.
Then August is clear.
August is
Excellent.
Yeah,
Weird.
sorry, we were gonna try for July, but it just didn't happen.
That works.
And then next month's executive committee will feature our budget preview. That will definitely be an action item, hopefully to recommend it to the board for adoption in June.
And I will, when is that, July, June?
June.
I will not be there in June, but
But
you're
you
in
saw
very
today.
capable hands, and the finance committee took a lot of time today to do a pretty in-depth conversation and discussion. And consensus was that the budget looks really good. And you'll see, not preview, but the sort of recommendation from staff around pricing of energy was, they were in full consensus.
Anybody else? All right, meeting adjourned.
All right, thanks,
So we
everybody.
have a small another meeting. Don't we?
Oh, I think at 11, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we?
Guys are talking.